This is Angela Grayson from the Loving Life Fitness podcast to help others in their fitness journey. All possible.
It's time to wake up. Here we go.
This is Angela Grayson from the Loving Life Fitness podcast. Now I'd like to introduce you to Christy LeCuyer. She is an ERYT 300 YASAP mentor, Vedic Thai yoga specialist, and public figure. She is dedicated to her purpose, and in that dedication is continually seeking out wisdom through the exploration of the yogic path, spiritualism, and wellness to unite community and whole space for transformation and healing is a passion of hers and a desired path that she is strongly rooted in. This is so beautiful. Christy, I am so in love with you. Welcome to Loving Life Fitness. So let's go ahead and talk about where you started with all this.
So the absolute beginning of all of this was my first yoga class. I did a 21-day challenge, and I was kind of more in Christianity at that time. And in that upbringing, we weren't allowed to do yoga. Like, all of that was kind of frowned upon. And I finally just came to a place and there's more. I know there's more. And a friend of mine at work asked me to do a 21-day challenge with her. And so I thought, I'm going to try out this whole yoga thing. And at that time, I was much different than I am now. And I was like going in there with my Lululemon, and my hair and makeup was done. And I was like, had all the perfect everything. And I was married at the time. I had a big rock on my finger. And I was like just one of those perfect wives. And I walked in and I threw my yoga mat down, and I'm like, this is going to be great. And as soon as I hit child's pose, something lit up inside of me. Like, my whole body heated up to 100 degrees. And I was like, I just started bawling the moment I got into my first child's pose. And I had done no yoga before this. I kind of made fun of it, actually, a little bit. I was like, these spiritual foo-foo weirdos, And here I was in my yoga pose, like, wow, this is, I'm feeling something I've never felt before. And so I was the only one out of, I think, 8 of us girls that actually finished the 21 days. And then I kept going for another, I don't know, maybe up to 30 days every day. And then after that 30 days, I realized I just woke up to something that I didn't even realize I was sleeping to. And I went home to my huge house, and I opened up I remember this so clearly. I opened up my window in my bathroom, and I had a pool and a hot tub out there. And I just started throwing all of my Louis Vuittons and my purses and just dumping them in the pool. I really did this. And I'm like, this is not me. Like, this is not my life. And I divorced my husband at that time. And I'm like, this is my path now. And I completely changed my entire life around. That's how I started.
Wow. Total transformation in a little over 30 days.
Yeah, I couldn't help it. It got a hold of me, and I felt myself for the first time without any rules of a marriage on me or any rules of yoga, or I was allowed to think for myself because I finally quieted my mind enough to hear what I was really feeling instead of all of the outside voices telling me who to be.
Okay, so from then that point on, you were taking yoga classes. Somehow you became a yoga teacher. Now you decided to go down that path at that point, or was it a while later after?
Pretty much right away. I mean, I think in the middle of my divorce, really, I started going to teacher training, and I knew that this was my path. And I was horrible. Like, you've never taken one of my classes. I was horrible in my teacher training. One of the teachers, the host of it, actually came over and was like, I don't think that this is going to be for you. And I was like, crushed about it because I was so
now
of this. And then even when I graduated from my first, I've taken a lot of trainings now, but when I graduated from my first one, I graduated Baron Baptiste style. So I was teaching at this studio, and I was begging the girl that owned the studio. I was like, please put me on. I don't care if you give me a 6 a.m. class. I just want to teach. And she kept saying no. And she said, I don't know if this is for you. And so I begged her, and I just kept showing up. And then finally she was like, if I give you a class, will you just shut up? And I was like, yes. So I taught my first class on a 6 a.m. And I remember her saying to me this: if you can get 15 people in the 6 a.m. class in 4 weeks, then you can keep it. And I was like, ooh, challenge accepted. And my first class she was in, and I was awful. Like, I bombed the class so bad. And I walked out, and she goes, I'm going to honor my word with you for the 4 weeks, but I mean, I hope I don't lose clients over you. And I was like, okay. So I remember going home and being like, okay, there's somewhere where I'm not being authentic. There's somewhere where I'm trying to be a yoga teacher, and because I was teaching exactly the way I was taught to teach, but it just was not me. And it was almost like another cookie cutter yoga teacher. And these things just kind of happen. And so I went back the next morning and I told myself, I'm going to be absolutely myself. I changed my whole playlist on. I put some ghetto music on in the morning, and I made like little gifts. Like I made like little cards that had like a word on it. And I placed them on everybody's mat that was in the class that morning. And I taught I forgot everything that I was taught in teacher training. And I taught from my heart. And I was like, I'm already screwing this up. I'm already bombed it. Nobody believes in me. I'm going to see how this works. And after that, 3 weeks later, it was like a Christmas. It was around Christmas. And I said, in 4 weeks, of course, I'm going to do this. In 4 weeks, we're going to do a little Christmas party at 6 a.m. I had 29 people in that.
Yeah, when we do things from our heart, it makes such a difference. Whatever it is that we're doing, when it flows from the heart, people connect with you. They want to be around you. They want to experience what you're trying to give them.
Right. And it was scary. It was scary to open myself and be that vulnerable and to be that real in class. And everybody says these same words in a yoga class, and I just didn't want to use any of those words. So I was very real when I spoke and when I put people in and out of postures. And I ended up managing that studio about a year and a half later. I had probably 70 to 80 people on my Tuesday night classes. And then something happened with the studio, and the couple that owned it split. And she came to me and she's like, I want you to manage the studio. And I was like, oh, cool. That's awesome. I remember when we first started and you were like, I don't think you're going to make it. And now I'm managing.
And how long did you stay in that arena, teaching and managing a studio? That's a lot of responsibility. To where you are now, what was the path?
So I stayed there for a couple of years and did that. And I loved it so much. And I was just thinking to myself, I must be kind of good at this. There's a lot of people showing up. And so I got this crazy idea in my head that I was going to open up a yoga studio. I lived in Palm Coast at the time, and this place was in Ormond. So I took everything that I had, which was nothing, and on a hope and a dream, I signed a lease with this woman to open a 5 to 10 year lease. And I had nothing at all when I did this. Like, I had just gone through a divorce and lost everything. And I was going to lose everything for this because I believed in it so much, and it just felt the most real to me. And so, I ended up opening a studio. I left Blue Moon. I opened up my studio. It was a crazy journey to get there because when I opened, I was like negative $320 in my bank account. And somehow I paid actually on that studio, which this is such a beautiful story. About 1 year, I paid on an empty building. I paid $1,500 a month on an empty building, not knowing how I was going to get the money to do the build out. I had nothing. I was teaching 16, 17 classes a week, managing the studio, teaching at a gym just to make an extra $20 to try to figure out how I'm going to pay for this. One day I just got on my knees in the place, and it was like stuff hanging from the ceiling. It was a disaster. And I'm like, a year later, my father comes to me and he was like, honey, it's okay. Like, it's okay. You showed God you want this, and it's okay that if you don't get it too, it doesn't mean you failed. And I was like, all right, one last ditch effort to ask the universe. And I got on my knees in the studio, and I remember this so clearly. I'm going to start crying. And I prayed. I said, if this is what you want from me, I am willing, and I'm here, and it's hard, and I'm doing the best I can, but I don't have the means. either you're going to provide this for me right now, or you're going to let me be able to let go and not be so upset about it, And so the next day, my ex-husband, he's like, calls me, I've been pacing the house, I'm not sleeping. And he goes, I'm going to give you just enough to do just the inside, the floors and the ceilings and the heaters. And that's all you're getting, because I didn't get anything in the divorce. And I said, thank you. And so he came in and he did just that. And then this was wall to wall. It went off the hook.
And how long did you have that studio?
So I had it for 5 years.
And I'm sure you helped so many people in their path.
Yeah, yes, for sure. The whole basis around that studio is to create a safe space for people to come. And I really believe that I did that. I still hear things from people like that was, that studio helped me get through places in my life I didn't think I could get through. And it was beautiful. But then after about 5 years, it started taking a toll on me. Because I was the only one. I was the owner. I was the face of the company. I was doing all the money aspect, which I'm not amazing at all. And my heart is so big. It's like, oh, you can't afford it. We'll come in anyways. And then a lot of that ended up being to a place where it was just, I was too big to be small and too small to be big. So I either needed to open a bigger space because we were just wall to wall slammed, or I needed to be okay with letting it go. And I just thought one day when I went in and I was like, oh, I miss my practice. I miss the time I spend with myself on my mat. Because when you own a studio, you go in there, you can't really just get on your mat and have time to yourself. I decided to choose that. Decided to choose myself over opening a bigger space and then going through all of that. It took my love of yoga away from me, it was everything to me. So I had a choice to make. And so I let it go. That was very difficult for me, but I'm glad that I did it. I don't feel that I made a mistake.
Yeah, sometimes when we get to a point where we're feeling overworked, we can't do for others what we had originally set out to do. And that was your original goal, to set out to help the people that came into your studio. And through those 5 years, I know that you must have done amazing work for so many people. Yoga transforms lives. You were their teacher, and that's beautiful. And I'm sure that when it was time for you to let go, because you could no longer serve them the way you wanted to, it was okay. They, I'm sure, found other places to go and other people to lead them. And like you said, you still hear from people about all the wonderful things that she does.
Yeah, I learned so much about myself doing that. I really think as much as I helped everyone else, that place saved my life. It helped me to become the person that I am and to understand life the way that I do at this point, to know the capabilities of what I can do, because I didn't think I could do any of that. I mean, I'm all over the place and I did that and I succeeded at it. So,
okay. So from there, Christy, from that turnaround, tell me what came next.
So I traveled for a tiny bit, and then I realized that this is funny because it all kind of ties together. I do Thai bodywork, or Thai massage, we call it. And I got into that. I went to a whole summer program at this place called the Shala that my teacher, Ariella, she teaches the Thai yoga massage and the folk medicine programs. And so I was like, okay, I think I still love yoga. I just want to address it in a different way. And I want to maybe do more one-on-one instead of 1 to 70 million. I went and took her course and just kept retaking it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it because it was the foundation of Ayurvedic medicine, which I live by. And it was the yogic path, which I live by. And then it was a lot of one-on-one, and I could still help people and not be completely drained, because now I'm helping people in their bodies in a deeper way than just running a yoga class. So it was a gift for me to not feel bad that I no longer was doing this thing. Sometimes I think we get stuck in who we are is who we are, and it's going to be like this forever. But we get to change, and we get to go with the tides and the seasons. And that was a good gift from God for me to be able to do that and actually be kind of good at it too. So, and that I've been doing that since. I'll never give that up. I love the intimacy of the Thai bodywork, the way that it does transform the body, and it takes a lot of emotions and moves them in a loving way. And you just get to go really deep with another person and experience why we're really here.
So, Christy, I've experienced Thai massage with you. It's absolutely amazing many times. But a lot of people out there, when I tell them Thai massage, you've got to call Christy. They want to know what Thai massage is. So let's talk a little bit about that.
To me, and I'm going to say this in a non-textbook way because that's just what I do.
That would not be you.
Yeah, if I just went out and did the whole textbook, I mean, I could do it. I have the book over there. I could sneak it, but I'm just not going to. To me, it's an energetic process. You start at the feet of the body. You work the energy lines up and through the body. So it's not just like I'm doing body work or giving a massage. It's more that you're going into this person's absolute being. I mean, your heartbeat becomes their heartbeat and vice versa. And you're really connecting with the person so that you can move things through the body and create a lot of blood flow. So if we're going like a little scientific, it creates a lot of blood flow in the body that actually alleviates pain and mental and physical. To me, it's like a moving meditation. It's like I'm doing yoga to you in a meditative way and moving blockages that are in the body that you might not know is there. And it just kind of moves on its own once you start going with the practice. I mean, this practice is so ancient.
And it originates in Thailand?
Yes. Millions of years ago. I don't know how many years ago, but yes, it originates in Thailand. A couple of cool things that I heard, don't totally quote me, but I'm going to keep them because I love it. They did it on the kings and queens in Thailand. That's how special it was. They found it on the walls in hieroglyphics. A yogi teacher that was teaching back then. I'm really bad with names. I don't remember his name. I should. I'm so sorry, Ariella, if you're listening. Bad student. He kind of took it and pushed it out into the world so that we could all experience it.
Now, when you have done Thai massage with me, what is so different to me, besides everything that you just said, is the way you twist me and turn me and stretch me and pull me while you're massaging and trying to get out anything that you feel. I know you feel it. I don't even have to tell you where it is or what it is. You can find it. But it's not just the massaging like an ordinary massage.
No, it's stretching and moving. And I guess the best way to explain it is I'm doing yoga to you on the ground and stretching your body, which stretching is the most important thing that we can do with our lives. We have to move the body and create space. And that's what we do. We create space.
Well, you were the only one who was able to get this kink out of my neck that would not go away with physical therapy, with stretching, with yoga, with doctors, with orthopedics. Christy came to my rescue and she twisted me and pulled me and massaged me. And she was able to get that shoulder feeling better again.
That was
Yes. And now I'm addicted to her Thai massage. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your folk medicine.
So that goes the same in with the Thai, the folk medicine part. So in the Ayurvedic system, we try to get people off of pharmaceuticals because we actually don't need it. We can heal our bodies through so many different modalities that there are definitely a time for pharmaceuticals, but not as much as it's being used whatsoever. So with the folk medicine, it's basically teachings and learnings that have been passed down from generation to generation. So it's not really in a book, and it's different ways to take care of your body to either prevent things from happening in the future, or if you do get sick, it's ways that you can heal yourself. Like there's this one cool with the eyes, you make like a little kind of pouch around the eye, and then you put ghee inside of that pouch around your eye. And then when you open your eye, it doesn't burn or anything. It's the weirdest feeling. You allow the ghee to go into the eye and it cleanses it out. And it just creates such a healing effect for the eye. So that's just like one of the tiny bit of things. We do cupping and there's just so many different things. But for me, the way that I look at it, it's giving us the tools to not have to go to the doctor, to take care of ourselves before the doctor happens.
Yeah, because unfortunately, we know that when we do end up at the doctor 9 times out of 10, all they want to do is give you some sort of medication that's going to have some kind of a side effect. Might fix what's ailing you at the moment, but the side effects could be 10 times worse than what the medication is doing for you.
And it is. And then you're this medication to that medication. And another example is you can just take honey and turmeric, mix them together, take a tablespoon of it every day, and it is an antibiotic, a 100% workable antibiotic. It just, we just learn all those little tidbits and things.
Yeah, that's good. The other thing I want to talk about, I know you have different kinds of workshops with groups of women. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about why you do it, how it comes to be, where, and how you feel about that, how they feel. Give me all that information. Is that your bonus gathering?
Yeah, this is my favorite thing that I do. If this is all I did every single day, if I woke up and I created these, or these women came over and we did what we do, which I'll talk about it, and then they spent a few days here and then they left. If I did this every day of my life, I would be in heaven. I absolutely love this. I think that it is extremely important that women get together and be able to be authentic with each other. Yeah, I started doing this the way that I do it now. I got into a little bit of indigenous medicine, which we can talk about last. And within that, I saw how much that women needed healing. And then I realized around that healing, physically, that mentally, the biggest issue that all of these women had in common, and this is going to be really funny, is they didn't love themselves. That's it. So all of these illnesses that created in the body, they all came from a bottom line of something that they're judging within themselves, and that they're not being authentic, and they're not speaking the truth, and they're not being honest with themselves. Because you can't be honest with anybody else unless you can be honest with yourself first. And we walk the planet not even recognizing that this is happening. So I bring awareness to it in the most fun, playful, beautiful, temple-like way. We have a group of women now that we all do our own modalities. For instance, a couple months ago, I had about 30 women at my home, and I did the body work. I had Anastasia do a Chinese tea ceremony. We had another woman come in and do a sound bowl healing for us. And then we had a girl that brought in some cacao, a woman that was pulling cards, and then one other that did some energy work. And I have my downstairs, as you could see, it just looks like a temple. And I have a sauna down here. And then when you go upstairs on the deck, I put a couple of clawfoot tubs up there, and we try to do ice baths in them. And then there's just a station for oils and just like places to adorn each other. And basically when we bring everybody together, we just try to allow these women to come into a space and feel safe enough, which you can't help but feel safe in the place that we create, because it's so freaking beautiful, and like it's everybody's dream to be in a space like this because it's so feminine. For them to just be 100% authentic, and however that shows up, it just doesn't even matter to us how it shows up. And we bring that to the attention first, like just be exactly who you are, no matter what that looks like. And all of us are here for the same reason, because we all really want that ultimately. So when you can gather a group of women and give them a safe space to let their guards down and be 100% who you are, you see when they come in, they're this one person, and when they leave, they're an entirely different person. And I'm like, yes, there you are. And there you were too, but that's not you. And you know that when they first walk in. I just love it. And I'm going to be real for a second. Like, you see the eyelashes start coming off and the fake hair starts coming off, and then all of a sudden they're changing into comfortable clothes, and it's just amazing.
Yes, and I'm definitely going to sign up for one of those classes. I need to be myself.
Yeah. There's so many different leaders here also, that when stuff does come up, because it does in these settings, because we're going very deep with each other. Like, for example, we'll do this thing, I forgive myself for, and I'll just say, I forgive myself for, and I'll go deep into it, the first one, like very deep. And it's like, wow, she just said that, and she said it with confidence. And then the next person goes, and the next person goes, and there's no talking about it. There's no explaining it. There's just saying, like, I forgive myself for. And to say it out loud, you can hear it come back to you, and you're like, I do forgive myself for that, don't I? It's just very powerful.
Beautiful. How often do you do that?
Yeah, I try to do it every couple months. Yeah, we just had one. We had a sitar player come in. It was really beautiful. We're about to plan the next one.
Sign me up. Okay, so on this long list of things that you have that you do to help people in your life, where would you like to go next with our conversation?
I would love to talk quickly about Kambo, if that's okay.
Yes, it's okay with me if it's okay with you.
Okay, perfect. I want to talk about this just because in the spiritual world, there's a lot of like indigenous medicine, a lot of medicine coming up. Ayahuasca is getting more obtainable, and all these different modalities in the medicine world are starting to come into play. And it can be confusing and scary because you know that you're opening up yourself to something like pretty big. So I want to talk about Kambo because I've done most of the medicines that are out there, and this is the one to me that is the most healing because it goes into the body and it removes the physical ailments that are causing you to be sick. It removes those so that the mental can come into play and you can be more yourself. So Kambo comes from the Amazon. It's a secretion from a frog, and it has over 200 peptides in it. So when you do a little burn on the skin and you put the Kambo on the body, it goes in through the lymphatic system, and it basically goes in through all of your organs, and I'll like dumb it down a tiny bit. It's like it squeezes out all of the toxins in your body and it kind of dumps it into your stomach. It's a little bit of a rite of passage because it's difficult because you're going to purge because you're getting toxins out of your body, but it only goes for 20 minutes. And it's when you come out of it and you rest for a minute, it's like, did that just happen? Did that detox just happen? And then I tell people, like, think of the moment in your life that you've been the most clear-minded, the healthiest, when you've had no toxins in your body, when you've taken care of yourself the absolute most, you're the most joyful, and you wake up in the morning, you pop out of your bed, and you're like, I love life, and you're so focused and driven. That's what this does for you. It brings you back to the essence of who you are.
And we stay on that path.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And I got into it. A friend of mine was in stage 4 cancer, and it was a very difficult path for me to get on because of me coming from Christianity and then going into shamanism. That's like a huge absolute no. It just kept calling to me. She had stage 4 cancer, and she did 1 round of ayahuasca, and she did 3 rounds of Kambo back to back in a row. I'm sure, don't quote me on that. But went back into the doctor and got her blood work drawn because she's like, I feel different. I know I'm different. They told her she wasn't going to live to see 50. She went back in and got her blood work drawn, and they came back in, 2 doctors. They said, this isn't the same person. This is impossible. The blood work was completely healthy, completely different than the first one of her very sick. So after that, after seeing that and witnessing that and realizing that this is a real thing, that this isn't just some foo-foo spiritual thing that people are doing, that this is something that really can help shift and save lives medically as well. I mean, you've got all these ailments in the body that sometimes doing all the right things doesn't push it out, and you need something a little bit more radical. But yeah, it saved her life. She's in the best shape of her life. She is not sick at all. She had lupus. She does not take any medication, not one thing. And she just does Kambo maybe once or twice a year, and that's it, just as maintenance.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's pretty spectacular. I've watched it do some pretty amazing things. And I like it because it's not psychoactive, and I'm kind of finished with all of that in my life. I love the psychoactive. I love the tool that it gives. I love all of these different ways that you can kind of wake up to certain things, but I don't believe that you absolutely need them. I think sometimes the psychoactive can confuse you even more a little bit and put you down a spiral path like Alice in Wonderland. But this one does not. It's not psychoactive, so you're not like tripping or even going into your mind and like
it's very different.
Yeah, it doesn't alter your state of being. It's more, it just puts you back into your spirit and the essence of who you actually are, because it's removing toxins out of the way.
Very interesting.
It is very interesting.
At the end of our show, everybody will be able to go down to the show notes to get a hold of Christy if you'd like to get more information about all these processes that she does do to help others get back to their real selves. How beautiful is that?
Come to my women's events. That's the most spectacular one.
It's a good place to start, right?
So amazing. They're from age 14 to age 75. It's like so many walks of life. Yeah.
Yeah, when you first started talking about that, I was thinking to myself, that would be so awesome for younger women to do, because so many younger women these days, they're all worried about, being judged and what their peers are thinking of them, dressing a certain way or acting a certain way just because of pressure, just to realize you can be yourself and how much better you'll feel on a daily basis. And when you come from your true self, others will accept you because there's nothing but beauty there.
Yeah, and you'll actually inspire people versus being a follower of people. I mean, which would you rather do, inspire people or follow people? I don't know. I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, do you know about anything with remedies for addiction?
Yes, I know people aren't going to want to hear it, but meditation is probably the most effective.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy because I can tell you, Kambo, absolutely. Of course, it's going to help completely. Ayahuasca, sure. If you're deep in addiction, do this medicine. It's going to wake you up. But at the end of the day, they're all just temporary fixes as well, because you want to get to the root of why there is addiction. So the root is only going to be shown to you when you can be quiet enough to listen.
And meditation is foreign to a lot of people. So you say meditation and people right away, they think they're just going to be sitting there waiting for something to happen and nothing happens. And that's the end of it, right? How do people get into meditation to help them to quiet their minds and be able to listen? It's a process. Do you teach that?
I do. I try to simplify it because it's really, you can be taught it, you can be guided through it, you can go to meditation classes, but at the end of the day, it's you choosing yourself. It's you saying to yourself, today I'm going to sit and I'm going to feel whatever comes up, and it's okay. And I forgive myself for anything that's coming up that makes me uncomfortable, because you'll go through all of them and you'll realize that we're all on a journey and none of it really matters, even though it seems like it very much does. Just sitting and there's nothing that's going to come to you. You've just got to sit and be with yourself. And that's the process. The process is how can you find a way to be with yourself and then feel comfortable in that? You just have to do it more. It's like anything else. Like, I just started CrossFit and I sucked at it. And I'm like, this is bad. But the more that I do it, the more I can do it. So it's like anything. You start doing it and then you become better at it. And then you realize that when you're sitting with yourself, that you really don't hate yourself as much as you think you do.
Meditation is a beautiful process. I meditate every single morning. It helps me to get my mind in perspective. Like you say, you listen to your body and your mind and what it's saying and accept that, go with it. And meditation also is a way of me for setting goals for the day so that my day can be a beautiful day, not only in the way I'm feeling, but in the way I treat others, and being open for the day to see what comes my way. Those are all things that sound like cliches. You hear that all the time, but it's really a beautiful thing if you can get to that point every day, thinking about it every morning.
It's an everyday thing, and you have to remind yourself every day, no, I need to do this thing that I know is good for me, that I don't really want to. Sometimes I sit down and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have time for this. I don't really want to sit here. I just don't. And then I sit with that. Like, why? Why don't I just want to sit here? We're taught in society so much that this is a doing world. Do. The more you do, the more you'll have. The more that you keep at it, the better you'll be. And that's all bullshit. We got taught completely wrong. Actually, the less you do, the more you are, the more you have, the more comes to you. And that's such a foreign outlook on life, because we're not taught this. We're not taught it because it actually works. And some kind of weird something up there that doesn't want us to know how awesome we are when we're just being. We're not supposed to think that we need to be all these things. And meditation helps you realize that that's all a lie. What we really are here to do is experience ourselves and who we are on this planet, and then figure this out, and then be able to give it to those who haven't figured it out. And this is what meditation does for you. And in that, when you can really love yourself and figure that out, there is no addiction. There is no suffering. There's none of these things, because you realize that even in your suffering, you're just not accepting something because you have this outlook on how you think that it should be and some attachment to the outcome of how it should be. And if you could just realize that, let it flow. And if it's going to be this, it will. And if it's not going to be this, it's not. And that's okay too. And then you kind of live a way more blissful life. People are like, how are you so happy all the time? It's like, because I just go with the flow. I'm tired to be something that I'm not. And I love myself, and I love everything that comes into my space, even when it's difficult and hard for me. I mean, we're living in this world. We're here to experience it all. But when it's difficult, I tend to want to look at it now and say, okay, how can I have gratitude for this? What is it teaching me? And wow, I have more wisdom now. This is amazing. More wisdom for me to teach somebody else, so maybe they don't have to suffer as much.
Yes. Okay, I heard you say something about boot camp. Okay, so this is all about health and fitness, right? So Christy, tell us about your program for staying fit and healthy.
I sit in my sauna every day. It's infrared. It's so important. It's huge. The amount of the anxiety that it takes off of you. I know everyone gets anxiety, right? You've gotten it before.
Yeah.
It's crazy how it takes it from you instantly. That's one of the things that I start with in my day. I try to meditate every day, yoga every day. I don't go to classes as much as I'd like to, but I try to put it in my body every day and move. And then I've been going to CrossFit lately. I switch it up.
Wow.
I've been going to CrossFit lately because I'm realizing how much that helps me get out all the energy that's stuck in my body. And sometimes it's like, we're women, we're not allowed to be rageful. Sometimes it feels good to be a little rageful and they take it out on your kettlebell.
There you go. Getting stronger through all the different movements. Do you do the kickboxing at all?
No, it's so funny you just said this. This is the third time it came up today. I actually sent someone a message. It's like, I want to learn how to box. And then somebody I had lunch with was like, I've just started boxing. And now you've said it. So I guess that's my next thing.
All right. It'll be fun. You'll really get all that out, with the kickboxing or regular boxing, whatever you decide to choose. But
you just got to move your body. That's it. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You've got to move your body. Like you do ballroom dancing. That's amazing.
It's amazing. It's joyful. I haven't had this much fun in my life in a long time, just going with the flow and doing the steps and listening to the music. It's just beautiful. It's an hour, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes longer than that, just being out there on the dance floor. And when you love what you're doing, the fitness just comes along with it. You're not even thinking about it.
100%. That's how I feel like when I'm in a yoga class and it's 100 degrees. I'm like, this is absolutely amazing. I don't even feel like I'm working out because I love it so much.
So you do hot yoga too?
Yeah, I do. If I'm doing yoga, it has to be hot for me. I'm crazy. Like I want hot vinyasa flow. I want all over the place. I want my body to shake because I just have a lot of high energy. So, but then on the end of that, I'm like, I know I need a yin class with yoga.
So hot yoga compared to regular yoga in a regular air-conditioned room, what is the difference for you? What does hot yoga do for you?
So it warms up the muscles enough for you to really be able to kind of stretch deeper than you would in a cold room. You can just move more with heat versus cold. Can I be super honest? The regular yoga for me is just a little bit boring. I need a challenge. So if like you don't want something super challenging and heart pounding and sweat everywhere, then hot yoga is not for you. Then the cold will be much better. It's more zen and beautiful, but I like something that's very intense. So.
Okay. And I've done hot yoga before and it is definitely intense.
Yeah, but it helps your body a lot. The infrared heat, I don't know if you've looked up the benefits of infrared heat. It's unbelievable. It's everything. Everything you can think of infrared heat is good for. Like sitting in a sauna for 1 hour, you burn 600, almost 500 to 600 calories sitting in a sauna. So imagine when you're in a hot room, and I've done it on my watch before, and maybe about 450, 500 calories doing yoga in a hot room because it goes into the muscles. It's moving the blood flow all over the place. It's pretty spectacular. It removes free radicals from your body. It takes toxins out. It's pretty amazing.
You heard it from Christy. All of you who hate sweating, it'll bring some goodness to your body and you'll get rid of all those calories.
Yes, your immune system will go up through the roof too. It lifts the immune system. So there's just look it up. There's probably a million more that I'm not thinking of in this moment, but the infrared heat is spectacular. I first started using infrared heat because when I opened my yoga studio, and I had infrared heat in my yoga studio specifically because I used to get really bad migraines starting at like age 10. And there would be like the visual disturbances, and the whole left side of my body would go numb. I wouldn't be able to speak. So it was debilitating for my life and debilitating for my life. And when I got one, I was out, and I was getting them a few times a week. And it's like, I cannot live like this. Somebody told me to go in infrared heat. So I started doing yoga at Blue Moon. They had infrared heat when I first started. And I slowly stopped getting the migraines. And now that I'm in the infrared heat all the time, I do not get these migraines ever. I notice they come back when I stop doing either the sauna or my yoga practice in infrared heat.
There's a lot of women out there with migraines.
I'm telling you, ladies, go. Or men too, go to the infrared heat. But, make sure it's an infrared heated studio, because some of that forced hot air has a lot of things in it you don't want to breathe in. But with the infrared, it's much more holistic.
So you're a high energy person, Christy. Where do you get all this energy from?
Oh man, I don't let myself get too depressed. I don't let anything kind of bring me down. And I do a lot of supplement type of stuff too. I do. I can't lie.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
I take like certain things like alma, black cumin, spirulina chlorella. I can never say that word. Celtic salt. What else do I take? Maca every day, neem oil, like just a lot of these things that I take. I think they help.
Well, it's doing great things for you. You're one of the peppiest people I know.
Love yourself. That's really what does it. I just decided one day I'd love myself, and then here I am.
One more question I have for you. I know a lot of people who do body work that after a while of doing it, they stop because they feel like they're absorbing all that negativity from other people. It's hard for them to do that because then they have to find a way to let it go so they can be happy in their life. So how do you manage to tune into others with their aches, with their not only physical aches, but mental? Because when you're doing your Thai massage, a lot of people talk, and you hear a lot of what's going on in their lives. So how do you deal with that part of what you do? Just in case there's anybody listening that's thinking of going into massage, Thai massage.
So yeah, I had trouble with this in the beginning. Funny you say that, because it's energy and it's science. You do take on a lot. I call it, this is going to sound so funny. I think I've only said this out loud once. I call it reverse manifestation. So when you manifest something, it comes to you because you're thinking of it. So when people I call it dumping, which is totally normal human trait, and I love it. I don't judge any of it. I have nothing but love for all of it, but also it's not mine. So I don't even allow it to take on. I have compassion and empathy and no judgment. And then I just let it go because it's not mine. I'm not going to take it home with me. At the moment I'm with you, I absolutely care completely. I'm with you. I am you at that moment. I feel I will cry with you. But then when we're separate, like this is your path and your stuff. And these are things in your body that sometimes, yes, I can, it will just pull out of them, and I can feel it sometimes go in through my hand and up into my elbow and start trying to rise up into my body, which is so odd to say because I never used to believe in all of this, but it's a real thing. I feel it. And I push it back out. I just say no, because we are the controllers. That's a bad word. We are the controllers of our universe. Like we create our universe, and we have to be able to set boundaries with ourselves daily. And so I do a lot of that. I don't know if you've noticed, every time I usually start at the feet and I place my hands on your ankles because I'm praying for you to release whatever needs to be released. But then I'm also setting a boundary that I won't take it on, that I'll take it with me through you, and I'll take it with me up until me. But at that moment, I'm not going to give it back to you either, but it's just going to go wherever it goes, do whatever it does. I don't care. You don't care, as long as it's gone.
That's beautiful. We all need to be able to set boundaries in our everyday life with all the people that we're involved with in our lives. And the fact that you do that professionally on a daily basis throughout the day, one client after another, that's amazing that you're able to keep that going.
Yeah, my heart for truly wanting to see people be at their highest, it's really helpful because I have such a drive for that even when sometimes I might take something on, I accept it for a moment and say, I have so much compassion and love. Like, I feel like the love takes whatever it is and it's like, poof, disappear.
And that's why we're doing this today, our conversation today, to pass your love on to others and hopefully inspire their lives in some sort of way. You're involved in so many different things that make people feel wonderful and beautiful. So I really appreciate, Christy, you coming on today and talking with me on Loving Life Fitness. And if anybody locally or comes to visit into our town here, maybe you'll give Christy a call or send her an email or give her a shout out and try to get involved with her in some kind of way, whether it be through Thai massage or one of her goddess gatherings. She's got so much to offer. Thank you, Christy. Thank you so much. It's so cool to really get into depth about everything that you do. Makes me want to be around you more and sign up for one of those gatherings.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Christy.
This is Angela Grayson from the Loving Life Fitness Podcast to help others in their fitness journey. All possible.
It's time to wake up. Here we go.